All right, hello, welcome back. All right, so this is the final week for the Dr. Bronner's design. Sorry. With that being said, I'm going to say it in the beginning, and I'm going to say it at the end. So I'm going to say this in the beginning, and then at the end. In the beginning, this is what I'm saying. Thursday, we won't meet. Just like that fourth week of every project, you should be working on the project and then working with me on the discussion boards, and I'll get back to you. That way you don't have to come in, stop what you're doing, come in to meet on Thursday. Just roll through it and finish up your projects. Like, get them done. Don't wait till the last minute. Next week we start something brand new. I'm not even going to care about this project starting Tuesday morning. I'll be on to the final project, and I hope you are as well. It's like real world, that's how it works. And honestly, very rarely do you have 4 weeks to work on a project like this in the real world. Usually it's much quicker, much more intense, but I understand you're working on other stuff as well, but I will be moving on. So no meeting on Thursday. I will be here. I will be answering questions. I will be around. It's not like I'm going to just escape. I will be around, but you just don't need to log in. So cool. Small notes. Let's see here. For the book, 3 sections left. Can I hear an applause there? Yeah, I know. Almost done with the book. You finished the book before you finish the semester. There's case studies. There's 1 through 17. You don't have to write about all of them. Pick like a couple of them. Pick 3. What do I say? Pick a few. It's a lot. Pick a few that stick out to you. It's not like the other chapters where they're kind of talking about brand strategies or something that works into it. These are case studies, and it shows kind of before and after what they worked on, what they did. Just pick a couple of them. Do what you want to do. And you don't have to do every one because there's 17, and I have it broken out to a section this week, the next week, and then you get one final section. I think you have 2 weeks off of the book. So that rolls on out. That's what to know there. Design final. You guys know the finals. Like, I want to see mock-ups of everything. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that today, about having inspired mock-ups and not crappy mock-ups. Like, you want to be able to show off your work. Or like, what is it going to look like? Where it is, how it is. We'll talk about that in a minute. Make sure you always check your important checklist. Make sure you're not doing widows and hyphens, and your margins are good, and you're not blocking text. Make sure that everything is crisp and clear. Use vector when you can. Please don't substitute for vector. Don't, in a hurry, use screenshots for placement into high-res digital areas. Do a proper PDF. You can place PDFs in everything. PDFs are amazing, and it keeps 90% of your stuff looking good. So yeah, so we're on our way out with this project. You have all your parts and pieces. Use the discussion boards. I will get on them later today, as today's a teaching day. I'm on it less, but I will make sure I'm up to date and getting things graded and getting your discussions and topics and writing back to you and telling you what to improve and whether you're ready to go or not. So let's jump in, though, to one we want to talk about. Blending in is what I have it called. So it was actually harder. It's harder. This is great, though. This is better for you. As time goes on and as systems get better, Photoshop is changing. The way people take product shots is changing, and they're getting better and better in what they can do and have the program do, say like on the website or when they upload photos. There's much more post-processing happening than there used to be. But I'll go through some examples. But what I'm talking about is this. Used to get a photo from the internet and it'd be like this, and you'd cut it out. And what happens is it would be shot generally 90% of the time. You do a product shot on a pure white background, nothing there. You don't want any shadows. You just want to light the product and really great throughout. But what would happen, and it still happens, but I actually had a hard time finding some proof today because I think they're lighting objects differently over the past couple of years. But you get this bright edge right where that hand is. There's a bright edge around this whole thing because it's in a white light box and everything's reflecting white. So it gives this edge a glow, sort of like a glow. I don't know what to call it, per se, but it's the atmosphere around it. But when you place this onto say a black background, or say this was dark blue, and I'm going to show a red background, it kind of sticks out. It sticks out as it feels like it's been placed there. I placed an image into my design, but it doesn't feel like it's part of the background. So what I did is I just simply added an inner glow to the image and used the background color. And then you got to play with it a little bit. But instead of a white edge coming in, I have a black edge coming in. And what it's doing is it's blending it into its background, especially like down here, like right here, like here you see this cutout, like ching, 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 like doesn't it look, you can tell it's cut out. But here, all I did by adding that inner glow with black, it just blends it in and it makes it feel like, oh, this is sitting in a black field, like a black area. Like say it's a black background with a, black. Well, it blends in as part of the surrounding image. So it doesn't feel cut out. It doesn't feel like, oh, what happened there? Like, why is it like that? Here, it sticks out. And the only thing I did was added that glow. And you have to pay attention to this. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. But you want your image integrated into the design itself. I think I see this. Do you guys remember? I think it's Chris's class, advertising. Advertising. You guys all have to do that liquor bottle, and all those come through. You guys have me in that portfolio class, and I'm always like, hey, get rid of the white line around it. One, Photoshop is doing a better job at automatically removing that. Two, people are doing better shots overall. And then three, this is the third way you do it. And let me show you a design where it works better. God, I hope I was on that page. All right, so red. Here it is, red. So the black outline, I think I had my hand on the wrong page. Here, blended in really nicely. Here, not so good. All right. Here it is on red. Exact same image. Exact same, like it has the glow. Poor cutout at the bottom there. That's on me. But it just, there's that super hard edge. And here I did it with red. And I adjusted it just so it blends in. It may, quote unquote, be a little bit blurry, but I'd rather have a little bit of this like soft edge than this pure white edge. Here it's wanting to reflect the edges, the sides and stuff. So look at that. And you can do it per image. Like I would save out, like back in the day, if this Yeti was going on 4 different backgrounds, I would make sure I went through and made sure it blended into each one of the backgrounds. There's never a one size fits all. And I think that's the other part to remember about graphic design. And you're going to be, I hope you're going to be doing a lot of work like this, and you're going to be doing a lot of repetition in which you're like, oh, we need this on this background, this background, this background, this background, this background. And each one, there's no like, you can do it. This is the cheap version. I just plopped it in. This is the professional version where I blended it. Just don't leave it sit. Like go in and be like, okay, how can I make it look like it's not cut out? I want to blend it in. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to do a copy and paste, and you're going to see how crappy this one. Look at that shot. Like, so this is from the Yeti site. I got one from them, and then I got another one, which is much better. So if I were to add a background to this, I would make it orange. Oh, it didn't pop out that. What the hell? Hold on. All right. Edit. Fill. Color. Orange. Stick with the Halloween theme. Oh, Jesus. Edit. Fill. Color. Okay. All right. So we've got some white sticking out. It got white around there. It's really jaggedy. This is a really poor. But what I'm going to do is double click on this. And then I'm going to go to, and I'm going to keep it available. Like, I want to see my image. I don't want to cover it and do this work and cover it. And I'm going to go to Inner Glow. No. I don't want the Inner Glow. What did I do there? Why am I not seeing it now? Yeah, Inner Glow. Did I change the settings? Inner Glow. Normal. I want to change my color to their color. No, I'm going to do Inner Shadow. Excuse me, not Glow, Shadow. Normal. Sorry about that. I want that. Okay. So now you can adjust it. So you can see what it's doing here. And you can change the angle. Like, where do you want more of the orange to go from? You know, it always does this global. You can turn off global light, but it's still going. You can check your size. And so when you do this, look at the surrounding. And actually kind of, I'm going to change it to the bottom. So you can do distance. So if distance is 0, keeps it centered. Choke is the strength. And then you do the size. And you play around with like each one of these. I think I'd come in with size a little bit. And then choke. Choke brings that tightness in. Maybe reduce that a bit. But all we're doing is trying to get it to look like it was on an orange background. We can go through and play around. See what it does. You can change opacities here too. And as you can see, this isn't a coverall. It doesn't fix everything. Like, we still have that white crappiness there. So that's just a bad one. Here's another one. This is on white. I'm going to... Now I'm going to copy and paste. And again, this is a higher res one. Edit. Edit, fill. Color, okay. And then this one, double click, Inner Shadow. And then there. So this one's even cleaner. And this one, I didn't have to do anything. Now, the great part is once you have your settings, sometimes you can just go with it. So if I zoom in, it's pretty nice. So see, it's got its surrounding enough. I could probably dial that back a little bit, but at least it looks like it's part of its surrounding and it doesn't have this harsh, like, you know, like color reflects. And then if I do a new color, let's do here, edit, fill, and color, okay. Edit, fill, color. That's what I want. Let's do that. Okay. Okay. So we have that. Then I can just go to this Inner Shadow. for this color, I just do that. And now it's set for the blue background. And you could just keep going with that, keep doing that. What else we got? Dr. Bronner's. They did a really good job because they darken their edges, so it looks really nice. Good. Edit, fill, and you can leave the background out. You can color match to your design. Say you're putting this on, you know, you're dropping in this onto a dark green background. You can color match that and then just put on the glow, keep it no background, drop it in, and it will have that set for you when you place it into your InDesign or Illustrator file. I'm not saying that you have to do all this in Photoshop and you can only get it to blend in with Photoshop, but no, you do the opposite. So here, color. All right, color. I'm gonna do 100, tab, and 0. I just need a reference point, and this probably won't work because it's probably RGB set up. Yeah. Okay. And then here they did a very good job. See how they darken the edges? So they make sure like that's a little bit more realistic, but I can still do this. I'm going to do that. Distance is 0. And I'm looking, and then so it's a normal. I dropped my opacity down. We just wanted a little bit. See how it just adds down here? Just adds a little something nicer to make it like feel like it's part of the surroundings. And if I hit OK, then I turn this off and I turn this off. That's what it looks like then. See, it's got that little bit. And then so I can file, save as, desktop, save. Okay. I opened up Illustrator, didn't know it was shut. File, new. Yeah, whatever, create. Then I could make that background, which is not cyan. But it'll be a close enough match. And then when I go to, let's get away that. Never want a stroke on there. I hate that. Okay. File. Place. On your computer. Desktop. And there we go. I'll kind of put it there. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll change the color of the background. And there it is. So there it is blending in. And then we will do this one to orange. Arrange back. There you go. So there's that one, and you can see how nice it looks on that blue because it's matching. It's reflecting what's happening in the background, but it looks like crap on the orange, right? And then what do I do? Like if I could just easily, oh, I need to change that. And if you had a system set up, then you just go right here. Go right there. Hit OK, OK, file, save. Yes, update. And now it looks better on the orange side than it does the blue side. It blends in. So that's what I talk about. Like sometimes with product shots, you want it to blend into the surroundings. You want it to be part, like actually look like it was shot and not just like somebody cut it out with a scissors from a magazine and like pasted it in there, unless that's the look you want. So it is important to really look at that. The better like you do that, just like the more and more you bring up the professionalism of like how good it can really look, and like, wow, that's polished. Like it's even like, oh my gosh, it even has that little orange surrounding, like bouncing off of it from its surroundings. So go for that. You could even do a split. Oh, it would keep. Oh yeah, that's the problem. You have to add it. I could make that match both sides. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. But so play around with that. I want to make sure like whenever you guys do and you're putting in a product shot, and anything you do, the product shot shouldn't look like it was placed in. It should fit right in, look beautiful, be a part of it. Then you guys need to do mock-ups. I call it uninspired mock-ups, which is here. So you find one and you do it. Somebody did a mock-up. Use this mock-up template, which is available on the internet. Thank God, but it's horrible. So the reason it's horrible is a couple reasons. One, it's palm trees, shaded palm trees on a brick wall, which I don't know where this was taken. And then they put the mock-up poster right in the shadow of like where everything's important, usually at the top of the poster. And then they made this fake shadow over it. And it covers up everything. This, even though it quote unquote looks real, it's Lollapalooza. It takes place in Chicago. Why is there palm trees on a street in Chicago? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like this is a poor mock-up in that sense. Like it doesn't show anything. Like why isn't it Chicago or a downtown area in real life? Like your mock-up should look like somebody's using it or somewhat in real life. And there are so many out there. This is the other one that I hate. And there's the third one I won't talk about. If you throw it in this, who in their house has a poster that they just put on the floor and we're like, that's where it stays? Like that's not, you're like, who doesn't? It should be hanging on a wall. And again, the white wall with the white everything with a poster in it, it's just like showing them the flat design. Like if you're going to show it, like this one's pretty flat, but at least it's a bus, a kiosk in a city and there's people. Here's got some angle and you can tell it's in a city and it looks like, oh, this should be here in a downtown area. This one's pretty flat, but it makes all the difference when setting up a mock-up. What's the hand holding posters? This is another one that it's so old now. And I don't see it that much, but it makes me laugh. These ones. This one. I'm holding your poster. Who's holding a poster? That's never where you see a poster. You see a poster, in life. Somebody already did it. So like when you do your stand-ups for the product, put it in a store. Mock it up in the store. Have fun with this. This is like you can put the mock-ups like downtown Milwaukee. Back in the day, well, you had a lot of time. I'd go and just take pictures. I'd take pictures of posters in area and then mock my posters up on top of those posters that I saw. It's just as good. Or you do do a search for like just posters. I know I'm settling in on poster. Or yeah, or when you do your flyer mock-ups, front and back, maybe have it be on a coffee table, like with other things. That's easy to find, and then figuring out how to skew it should be fairly simple. Coffee table with items on it. I don't know. Oh, what if I put flyers? Oh, I got some cool ones though. I mean, that's a little bit too skewed. You can't really see it. You want to be able to see the flyer, but you also just don't want it dead. So dig around. And as I said, I call it uninspired is when you just do you find that first one that shows up and you're like, here's a mock-up of my poster. I'm like, oh, Jesus, really? You got the flat version right here, and then you put this mock-up right next to it. Like, what's the difference? I'm not really seeing it in real life. So make sure you don't do that. So there you go. There you have it from me. Making your designs look better and more professional. Yeah. Any questions from you all? Okay. Well, I will be jumping on after my next class. I'll be jumping on Blackboard and start burning through comments and grades and get that all up to date. Hopefully tomorrow. I do have MATC meetings tomorrow, which kind of ruins some of my grading day. But I'll get it all done. I'll check discussions sooner than later to make sure you guys can keep working on stuff. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free, post them, email me or whatever. Good luck with those finals. Let's work together on them from now until Tuesday and get them all polished up and looking great. All right. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. Oh, no meeting on Thursday. All right. Bye-bye.